Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well folks, what I'm about to show you guys in this video, this right here is the result of soft on crime politics. This is the result of an idiotic, naive worldview that values social media brownie points and virtue signaling above common frickin' sense. This is what happens when you form ideas and policy or worldview in a college dorm room, smoking weed and doing LSD, and coming up with all these hippie, trippy, nonsense ideas of the world instead of opening your eyes to reality. You pat yourself on the back thinking you're doing a good thing, but really all you're doing is unleashing chaos and carnage on the streets, creating a system that rewards failure, that excuses violence. And then of course, the worst people in society learn that there's no breaks, there's no limits. They can act essentially with near impunity. Why not? Oh, the criminal that stabbed an innocent woman in the face 7 times, he's just a poor, misunderstood soul. He needs group therapy sessions and group hugs. We need more social workers, as if there aren't enough already. Well, when you put it into practice, people frickin' die, chaos ensues, and you pat yourself on the back as if you're the holier-than-thou greatest person in the room. Well, the reality is much different, obviously. And I really want to put that into perspective. I got a bunch of stuff to show you guys here. Let's talk about the revolving door of injustice. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so here we've got viral case number 1. We've got this psycho woman here who boards a Madison Metro bus, and it seems possibly she had an issue with the bus driver, maybe relating to her payment, or possibly lack of payment, and after a couple seconds, instantly jumps straight to violence, swinging on the driver, and then things get a little crazy. Completely insane scene, and obviously an individual who's unwell and totally out of control. And that's put into clear perspective as even after the bus crashes into the restaurant, she continues to wail on him. This case recently concluded. She pled guilty to second-degree reckless endangerment, where she received a total of 3 years. She'll probably serve maybe 1.5 years, possibly less. Likely less than 2 years for turning a city bus into a missile that crashed into a restaurant, injuring multiple bystanders. Now, of course, that's outrageous enough, but it gets even worse when you take into account this individual's violent history, criminal past. Let's go ahead and do what we do in these cases. Look at the mugshots. Oh, a myriad of mugshots. You would think with this kind of criminal record going into the system over and over and over again at some point, leniency isn't the answer. At what point do we simply accept that some people are a lost cause? Ooh, it sounds harsh. But yeah, obviously, not everybody can be rehabilitated. Some people are severely deranged. There's no fixing that. And that's really been the story, especially since COVID. It's the same situation over and over again. It's not just her. We've also got this individual, James Rayford in Charlotte, arrested 19 different times, including once for assaulting multiple government employees. Well, he was allowed back on the streets, and now he's back in handcuffs after shooting a 3-year-old child. What, are we still gonna show this person sympathy? Oh, he shot a 3-year-old child. He's just a victim of his circumstance. Then we've got another individual. This is Herbert Jordan. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's been arrested, get ready, more than 50 times, many violent offenses, and well, he was just arrested again for assaulting a woman while actively out on bond, and he was given bond again, set at a measly $5,000. By the way, the same court system that allowed that violent freak Irina Zarutska out. But now moving on to the next case, this time down in Florida, where a Florida judge released an RAPE and murder suspect out on bond despite acknowledging his horrible criminal record.
I want you to listen up.
Yes, ma'am.
You got an atrocious record.
Right.
These charges are violent in nature. If I get any inkling that you have violated the conditions of pretrial release, you will be arrested on a no bond warrant, you'll be put right back in jail, and you will not get out. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
It leaves most reasonable people to ask the question, was the judge bound by some type of law to release this defendant?
No, Lawrence, the judge was not bound by any type of law to release him in any way. Florida still has bail statutes, so they still can set bond, cash bond, unlike New York, unlike Illinois, unlike other states in our United States. But in Florida, this judge can set a cash bail. This judge could have held him no bond, so he could have been kept in custody during the pendency of his case. And so I'm very surprised, not only given her own words calling his background atrocious, but given the facts here. Normally, what judges do is they look at the strength of the evidence, they look at the background of a defendant, they look at likelihood to appear back in court, whether they will avail themselves to the jurisdiction, and they look at danger to the community, which is one of the biggest factors that most judges look at, even when there are no bail statutes. And here, you have a stranger on a path walking, running, jogging that gets attacked. And so danger to the community is a very high bar here and something that they really have to think about with these types of facts and charges. So I'm very surprised. I think even in a no cash bail state, this defendant probably would have been held.
So the judge admits the guy's got a horrible record and then sends him out the door into the community. And surprised to literally no one, he was promptly rearrested.
After only 48 hours in police custody, Judge Elaine Barber let Tillman out on a $9,500 bond, even though state prosecutors pushed for pretrial detention. Now, digging deeper into his long criminal past, it reveals the felon was charged with robbery and spent a year in prison for a stabbing. Most recently, he was found guilty of groping another woman on a walk. Tillman was in court this morning for his hearing, and the judge denied him bond. That's because he violated a no contact order with a witness in this case.
Immediately picked up again for a violation of a no contact order. Imagine that. I mean, who could have known? Who could have known that the violent criminal can't be trusted? I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of it. Spare me the leftist progressive sermons of rehabilitation. I'd like to rehabilitate society, ensure safety, protect the vulnerable. You know, the kids being shot, the bus drivers being pummeled in the face. But instead, again, this woke worldview seems to always emphasize and prioritize the criminal, the repeat offenders. You simply just shouldn't get this many chances. I'm in favor, honestly, of 3 strikes and you are out of here. When people show you who they are, believe them. There should be mandatory detention for violent repeat offenders, serious sentencing for violent crimes. At some point, we just gotta accept that some people can't or won't ever live by the rules of a civilized society. They cannot be amongst us. And government's job is to put these people away. They owe it to everybody else who's doing it the right way to remove them decisively. It may hurt your feelings because said criminal, of course, is a son or a daughter or a brother or a sister, and so it makes people sad. I get that. And some people, they just can't handle the crocodile tears. But while you think you're being woke and revolutionary and compassionate, you're showing lack of compassion for the people who actually deserve it. They're victims. This revolving door of injustice is not merciful. It's not woke. It's not compassionate. It's not progressive. If anything, it's legal malpractice. Chronic habitual offenders, predators, insane people do not belong on the streets, and that should not be a controversial opinion. But for some reason, the wokerati has made it so. It's time to get tough on crime again. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.